A man breaks his arm. He goes to the doctor. The doctor sets it, puts on a cast, gives him a sling, says, keep it dry for 6 weeks and come back. We'll check you out. It should be good as new. Got any questions? And thinks for me and says, yeah. When this is all done, will I be able to play the piano? Doctor thinks and says, yeah, sure, of course you can play the piano. Patient says, that's great because I couldn't play a note before. Good evening, Toastmasters, Kemp Toastmasters and guests. This was just a joke. No bones were broken in the making of this speech. But sometimes things really do happen. What if you were a musician and you broke your arm? What if you were a runner and you broke a leg? Not like an actor in a performance. What if you were a speaker and you got throat cancer? How would we handle it? We go up? We go down? Would we retire? Let me tell you the story of Dr. Itzhak Brook. Dr. Itzhak Brook was a medic in the Israeli army in 1967 during the Six-Day War. He was a battalion physician in 1973 in the Yom Kippur War. He saved lives, and he also saw friends die. But he went on. After that, he became a doctor in Israel. In 1980, he moved to the United States to be a doctor here. He served in the U.S. Navy as a doctor from 1980 to 2006. He won 3 Defense Meritorious Service medals. He was 65. He retired from the Navy, but he didn't stop. He became a professor of pediatrics at Georgetown University School of Medicine. Became an expert in infectious diseases and preventing medical errors and all kinds of other special medical topics. And then he got throat cancer. The doctor became the patient. He lost the battle for his vocal cords, though he won the war with the cancer. He was an old man. He could have retired. He certainly could have stopped public speaking when all he could speak was in a whisper. And even with a machine helping him, it was hard to speak. But he didn't stop. He kept on speaking about the Yom Kippur War and about medical topics of all types, helping other people. Little things sometimes can get us down. Sometimes we're a little bit sick. Maybe it's a cold, maybe it's COVID, maybe it's the flu. Sidelines us for a few days, but we bounce back. Sometimes there are other things. Something goes wrong at work. We get all upset. We just don't want to deal with it all. We just want to crawl out of bed and wake up the next morning and see that everything's all better. And sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. A year ago, I was in a hospital because my leg, I had cellulitis. It was a week that was tough, but I'm back. But what do we do when the really big things hit? Tell you another story. Helen Kahan. A few weeks ago, we celebrated Yom HaShoah, a day of commemoration for the 6 million Jews who perished in the Holocaust during World War II. Millions of people have died in wars before, millions have died since, and there are always wars going on around the world. But this was a time when there was a systematic, mechanized, automated murder of 6 million people simply because of their religion. Not because they were fighting against the Nazis, not because of anything they did. Some people came out of the Holocaust. They survived, but they were never their true normal selves again. Some went on to build lives, but they couldn't talk about it even to closest family. Some of them, like Helen Kahan, had a different take. Helen was born in Romania in 1923. She had a good life growing up, and then World War II, the Holocaust. Most of her family, her parents, her brothers, her sisters, her grandparents were killed in Auschwitz. On the day of liberation, one of her sisters died, but she didn't stop. She eventually made it to the United States. She got married. In 1986, she moved to Florida. She has 2 children, 5 grandchildren, 12 great-grandchildren. And she became an active member of the Florida Museum of the Holocaust to speak about those times and to help make sure that everybody knows about it so it will never happen ever again. This past week, the ripe old age of 100, she was invited to throw out the first pitch at the Tampa Bay Rays New York Yankees game. When asked how she did it, she said, well, she feels good. And she told a reporter, first of all, I'm alive and I'm here. Holocaust. So much of her family died. Millions others died. She didn't let it stop her. Could you break an arm and play the piano? Could you break a leg and run a marathon? Could you have throat cancer and still be a public speaker? We have easy things in life. We have hard things in life. The challenges, the hard things, some of them are small and some of them are big. I hope that none of us has to deal with the big things, with the cancer, with the war, with the horrible murder of family. But how we deal with this and how we come out of it makes us different people. We can take inspiration from Dr. Brooke and from Helen Kahan and make the most of our lives. Thank you.